Hey, kia ora whānau, you're here with me, the maoriwargamer, and today we'll be playing a Warhammer 40K battle report. Welcome whānau to the 60 power level battle between the Tyranids of High Fleet Quintus against the Necrons. As we continue battle for the Fate of Atreus, playing an Eternal War mission, Frontline Warfare. Your forces have encountered the enemy along a contested border between your territory and theirs. It is imperative that you seize the disputed ground quickly, while preventing your foe from crossing the border into your own lands. So the Tyranids have descended upon the planet, taking over the ruins of the city. And they've come into conflict against the awakened Necrons here, awakening in force and bringing the numbers of their Necronic dynasties to bear. So continuing the battles from the last mission that we played, it's been a 3-week break there, whānau. You know, just have to recharge the batteries. Life is a busy thing, you know, and it is enjoying to get these videos out to break from the tension of your everyday life. So yes, the Necrons have awakened under the leadership of Imotekh the Stormlord, here in his splendor and glory, to lead his legion into battle. Continuing the events of the Necron vs Tyranids campaign after about a 3-week break there. Recharging the batteries, doing a lot of painting, a lot of work outside of YouTube. You know, when it starts to become a grind to do all this stuff, then you realise, oh yeah, better take a break there. So thanks for sticking with me while I, enjoyed a bit of R&R, a bit of rest and relaxation. Back and recharge with you, committed to getting out quality Warhammer content from now until the end of the year. And currently sitting on 230 subscribers. Love to hit 250 before we hit end of 2019. So help support me in that endeavour there, whānau. Hit the subscribe button, share this video with your friends and family. If you want tabletop content from a humble maoriwargamer from New Zealand, we don't have the big budgets, the big production values. We'll just put out painted armies, quality painted armies, for your entertainment on a nice looking battlefield. It's for you to sit back and enjoy. Watch it if you want to, put it on while you're painting, whatever you want to do, I'm here to help you out. So thank you. But on with the mission. We have 4 objectives deployed on the battlefield. Objective 3 over here. What's the other one?
Under the plane.
Another one here, objective number 4, and then across the battlefield to Tyranid's side, objective number 2 just outside here, and objective number 1 over in the ruins of this forest around these craters, in control of the Termagant swarm. So Xenos versus Xenos in this one there, whānau. The objectives in your enemy's deployment zones were 4. One's outside are worth 2, and the one in your own deployment zone is worth 1. We also have Line Breaker, Slay the Warlord, and First Blood. My Warlord is the Winged Hive Tyrant right here. My opponent's is Imotekh the Stormlord. So armies deployed. Necrons taking out turn number 1. So we'll go straight into that. But before we do, let's take a closer look at the armies that we'll be playing with today. We have 60 power level of Tyranids of High Fleet Quintus, led by a Winged Hive Tyrant with 2 Devourers with Brain Leech Worms, and a Brood Lord with Monstrous Rending Claws. We have a 3-man Tyranid Warrior Squad 2 with Devourers and Claws, and this one here, Bone Sword, Lash Whip, and a Heavy Venom Cannon, as well as an unfortunate Imperial Fist. A 10-man Termagant squad with Flesh Borers. One 20-man squad of Gene Stealers with Rending Claws. A 3-man Hive Guard squad with Impaler cannons. A 10-man Gargoyle squad. I think they've also got Flesh Borers. And a mighty Trigon Prime with 3 pairs of massive Siving Talons, a bioelectric pulse with containment spines, and a biostatic rattle. We have a patrol detachment led by Imotekh the Stormlord. He has the Storm Staff and the Storm Fire Hand Gauntlet thing. A 4-man Immortal squad, which is actually a 5-man Immortal squad. My opponent just came ill-prepared. What's this thing? What's the gun called? Gauze cannons. Gauze flares, something, I don't know. A 5-man Necron Deathmark squad with Synaptic Disintegrators. A new addition to the Necron army, a 5-man Lychguard squad. 4 with Hyperphase swords and Dispersion shields. And this guy here with a War Scythe. 3-man Tombblade squad with Gauze blasters. An Annihilation Barge with a twin Tesla Destructor and a Gauze cannon. A Doomsday Arc with a Doomsday cannon and a Gauze Flayer array. And a Doom Scythe with a Death Ray and a Tesla Destructor. End of movement phase for the Necrons in this Eternal War mission, Frontline Warfare from Chapter Approved 2017. Doom Scythe is zoomed right across the battlefield. Annihilation Barge, Doomsday Arc, Lychguard, and Imotekh. The Lychguard looking like bodyguard units moving into this abandoned, fortified gun line here. So looking to seize objective within there. The Immortals have sat upon the objective number 4, probably hold that out for the rest of the game. And the Tombblades zipping across the battlefield, looking to initiate some sort of flanking maneuvers from the looks of things. Very strategic. We'll move into the shooting phase for the Necrons, turn number 1. Alright, so some bloody first fire from the Necrons turn 1. Managed to wipe out 1 single Hive Guard, as well as 8 of the gargoyles that were swarming the skies. Synapse within the Hive Tyrant means they're safe from morale, and potentially save me from first blood defeat. Move into the Tyranids turn number 1 and see what damage they can wreak on the battlefield. Alright, end of the Tyranids, Hive Fleet Quintus turn 1. The Termagants stay in position on objective number 1. Hive Guard stay here out of sight of the front lines there. That thing's alright, but over wasted if it's going to shoot into them. The Winged Hive Tyrant flies forward, supported by the last 2 remaining gargoyles. Advance from the Tyranid warriors, heading towards the Tombblades, and advance from the Broodlord as well. So we'll kick into the shooting, psychic phase first for the Tyranids. Alright, so the Winged Hive Tyrant's going to start off with a smite. That'd go into the Annihilation Barge. Going off on 5. It goes off, D3 damages. That's 3 mortal wounds.
God, shield.
Boom. Next up, he's going to cast Catalyst on himself for a 5-up Feel No Pain save. This goes off on a 5. Does not go off. When a command point reroll. Does not go off. Yeah. Alright, and we're going to cast Smite with the Broodlord into these guys. Goes off, D3 mortal wounds. 3 mortal wounds.
Into what, the 2 blades?
Yeah. 3 shots from the Impaler cannon into the Annihilation Barge. Strength 8, toughness 6, so looking for 3s. 3 wounds, minus 2 AP.
3 wounds, minus 2, so that's 6 up. How much damage?
Made D3 damages, so I know your quantum shieldings, mate. Quantum shielding, so we're rolling for damages. 1, 3, 3. So one goes straight through, and then you need to roll
2 low.
2 twos?
2 twos or lower.
2 twos, yeah.
Lower.
No.
Bugger.
So that deals out 7 wounds.
That puts it down to 5.
Woo! Alright, so we got the Annihilation Barge with 2 wounds remaining. Coincidentally, we have 2 gargoyles who have not yet shot into anyone yet. So, we're going to start them off to finish off the Annihilation Barge. I thought I'd capture this on camera. 2 shots hitting on 4s. Cool. So spent 2 command points on the single-minded annihilation stratagem, allowing a Tyranid's infantry unit to shoot again at the end of the shooting phase. So the 2 Hive Guards fired their Impaler cannons in, and we've landed 4 wounds, -2, with 4 6-ups to protect us, with 2 wounds left. None made at all. So rolling D3 damages, so I want to roll 1s and 2s. That's it. Gone. Quantum shielding is not going to save those 2 1s.
Does it explode?
Oh, yes, please, on a 6. Oh. Lucky. First blood to the Tyranids. Booyah. Alright, so end of Tyranids. Turn number 1. Turn against hold objective number 1. Objective number 2 still up for grabs. Objective number 3 is not captured, and objective number 4 back there with the Immortals is in their control. So we're going to call it there. Turn number 1, first blood to the Tyranids. Let's see what the Necrons can do to counter-attack. Necrons, turn 2. Alright, so end of the movement phase for the Necrons, turn number 2. In the 60 power level, Necron versus Tyranid battle report by New Zealand's number 1, the maoriwargamer. The Lychguard and Imotekh have moved forward to capture objective number 3. Immortals stay locked in on objective number 4. Annihilation Barge is zipping up this ways. Tombblade moving into behind the building. So we'll see what happens, what shenanigans will unfold. Looking down the streets here as the Fate of Atreus is determined in glorious combat. Place your bets on who will win, who will lose. So we're going to the shooting phase for the Necrons. Turn 2. 3 successful wounds have landed into the Hive Tyrant from Doomscythe using its Death Ray. We're looking for 3 4-up invulnerable saves, those psychic barriers. Made 1 of them. Testo Destructor 4 shots into the Hive Tyrant. 3 hits.
3 hits or command point, reroll this.
Oh, he's desperate. 4 hits.
4 hits.
Double desperate. Toughness 7. What are you? Strength what?
7.
Pause. 3 wounds.
No minus.
3 wounds, no minus, 3 up saves. Alright, the Hive Tyrant, 2 wounds remaining. Needs to pass 3 up saves. Needs to pass 2 of them. Keep him alive. 3 up saves. 3s! Pass 1. However, Catalyst. 5 up saves. 5 up saves. Wait a minute, I'm going to command point reroll one of those regular ones.
No! Too late.
A 3 is easier to save than a 5. Damn it. 5 or 6. 5 or 6. Double 5s. Ah! Yes. Shit, he's dead. I think he can blow up. Yeah. Alright, on a 6, he blows up. No. Useless. Useless. Alright, Fido, so my opponent wants to talk whilst I summarise his turn. Lychguard, pretty models, but done nothing so far. Unbiased commentary. The mighty, brave, heroic, valiant Hive Tyrant met his untimely demise at the hands of an unscrupulous foe. Again, let me continue my unbiased commentary. We lost another Tyranid warrior. Broodlord lost a wound. Otherwise, still pretty even Stevens. My opponent got Slay the Warlord. So we're 1 victory point apiece and currently in control of the first objective. Well, the objectives in our deployment zone. But my opponent also has another one under his control. So let's sweep across the battlefield towards the Tyranids and see what they will do as we go into Tyranids turn number 2. Alright, end of the movement phase, turn number 2 for the Tyranids. Termagant staying here on objective 1. Hive Guard staying out of sight of their enemies. Tyranid warrior moved up onto the tower, onto the ruined building, take on the Annihilation Barge. The Patriarch here 4 inches away from him, also close to him as well. And the Trigon burst up from the underground, surrounded by 20 Gene Stealers ready to unleash havoc, capturing objectives 3 and objectives 4. That's our goal. I'm going to go straight into it there. But before we're going to go into the psychic phase for the Tyranids, turn number 2. Alright, so the Broodlord, last remaining HQ on the battlefield, unleash a mighty smite into the Tombblade here. Goes off. 3 mortal wounds. That's the destruction of the Tombblade. And another unit down for the Necrons. The Broodlord lets out a terrifying scream. And the onslaught continues. Let's go into the shooting phase for the Tyranids. Turn 2. Broodlord just advanced 6 inches up onto the building here as well as we go into the shooting phase. Alright, end of the shooting phase. Use shot with the Impaler cannons from the Hive Guard into the death marks. Then use mindless annihilation, another 2 command points to wipe them out completely. Didn't want to risk them reanimating. Across the field, we took some wounds off here thanks to the Venom Cannon. And the bioelectric spines shot into the Immortals took down 1. So we're going to go into some charges now as we end Tyranids turn 2. Got these guys coming into here, these guys into here. So stay with us. Charges. Alright, so charges are successful. Trigon didn't make it, but the Gene Stealers did. We've got a few within range for combats. Lychguard moving forward to protect Imotekh the Stormlord. In combat about to drop up in here. So stay with us as we wrap up this combat and the Tyranids turn 2. Alright, so end of the Tyranids turn number 2. We took down 2 Lychguard. One of them have just reanimated back to the battlefield at the cost of, like, what was that, 7 Gene Stealers. Brought this thing down to 2 wounds, be up to 3 now with living metal, but it's still in deep trouble. And yeah, that's the state of the battlefield. This objective's contested, so we both have 1 each. As we move into Necron's turn number 3, we'll see what happens. The Trigon will be able to move more freely now as well, so woe behold the enemies of the Trigon. Go into Necron's turn number 3. Units stay locked in combat here. Locked in combat here. The Doom Ciphers moved up this way. And the Immortals stay holding this position. So we'll see what they're going to do going into the shooting phase. Alright, so end of the shooting phase for the Necrons turn 3. Immortals and this Doom Cipher shot in. Trigon on 6 wounds remaining. That's pretty much all that's happening on that side of things. We'll move into the fight phase with these charged units going to battle. Alright, so Necrons end of their turn. They managed to peel off another 3 Gene Stealers who have piled in and ready to make their attacks. This guy's got no attacks successful as well, so Tyranid retaliation, and then we'll go into Tyranids turn 3. Alright, so end of the Necrons turn. After the Tyranids counter attack, they lost 2 more Lychguard, 2 wounds taken off Imotekh the Stormlord. And we shall now go probably wrap up the game actually as we go into Tyranids turn 3. Tyranids hold this objective. They're going to hold this objective here, and they hold this objective. So stay with us. Let's wrap up the game for a Tyranid victory. It has been a 10:30, 11:30, 12:30, 1:30, 2:30, 3:30, 4:35. It's been 8 hours of hobby goodness so far today, so I'm pretty tired, ready to call it a day. We started filming at 10:30 AM doing Shadespire, and now doing this game. Whew. Alright, fine, so a bit of creative control, a bit of fast forwarding behind the scenes. The Broodlord dropped down, smited out the remaining 2 Lychguards, so that leaves Imotekh on 4 wounds, Annihilation Barge, who was unable to capture objectives, Trigon moving in and ready to rip into these Immortals. They've all got 1 wound each. Easy pickings. And the 2 Hive Guard capturing objective number 2. Trim against standing still the whole game on objective number 1. So I don't think we need to go any deeper there. I've got Line Breaker, I've got First Blood, I've got objectives 1, 2, 3, and 4 contested currently. So we're going to call it there a Tyranid victory. Tyranid victory in the triumphant return of Multi-Wargamer 40K battle reports, the Fate of Atreus, closing us out for the year of 2019, and almost 2 years since I've started doing filming battle reports and content for YouTube, you know. A bit of a hobby in my spare time. Hope you enjoyed this battle report there, whānau. Great to get back into some 40k content. You know, just been chilling. Between work, between, you know, life, it's hard to get time to do this stuff. It's hard, you know, you have to put other things aside. You know, this was 8 hours of the day filming episodes for the channel. So, you know, you've got to really carve out some time to do it, and I just wasn't feeling up to it for the last couple of weeks. But I'm back, I'm recharged, I've watched a few other channels, and I'm feeling good, ready to pump out some regular content for you, week on week, until the end of the year. So if you enjoyed this episode, give it a thumbs up, give it a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, leave a comment on any feedback, rule areas, tips, army building tips, anything like that. Always love to learn and hear from you guys. Tune in next week. We have Eldar, Sam Hahn up against the Death Guard, the Hollow Swarm. My custom Death Guard chapter, ready to roll into battle to determine the fate of Atreus. New units, you know, everything all done up as always, as we always aim to do. Bring you quality tabletop content, painted armies, you know, nice battlefields. So I hope you'll join me next week there, whānau. But until then, thank you for watching. I am your humble host, the Multi-Wargamer. Thanks for watching. Ka kite. Anō.